Welcome, 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 one and all. It is a brand new season. First episode of a new season of The Extra Point. Got college football starting today, so it's time to get back to the football, foolishness, and family. How we get down right here at the TEP. Speaking of family, you see her flank to my right, the OG wizard herself, my right hand woman, all the way from the Dominican Republic, Miss Tasha T. Sizzle. What's going on today, T. Sizzle?
Nothing, just relaxing. Again, this is not a flex, but we're building our second home today here. So we're going to go and visit the second house today. It's all about
My
real
guest
estate down
home.
here. Yes, guest home. So we're going to go do that. And that's about it today. Just going to chill and hopefully watch a little bit of this foosball.
Yes. We're gonna watch a lot of foosball. We have a jam-packed show for you all. Excited to be back. I was fired up. Woke up bright early this morning, ready to get T Sizzle on here so we can get her hot takes for the week. We're gonna talk. We're gonna get your college football playoff predictions. We're gonna get you on the hot seat for the biggest games of the weekend to get your picks on them. We're gonna talk Big 12. We're gonna talk Big 10. Of course, we gotta talk Michigan. But before we do any of that,
Michigan.
this show is brought to you by
May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com. You can get your Colombian, which is what Paul and I have, your Brazilian and your Honduran blend coffee. And now she has the Honduran blend and the Brazilian blend coffee on sale. So you need to go online, check that out. And she also has I keep saying the wrong thing, flavors. You can go in there and add your different flavors. She has like a hazelnut, vanilla, and I think she has a pumpkin spice because I know a lot of you are crazy about that pumpkin spice. But she also has that. So just go online, mayjanescoffee.com, MAEJANES coffee.com, and order and support my baby girl. Thank you.
we are honored and privileged to be sponsored by a Black-owned business. Very appreciative and proud of Miss Denise. I got my cup right here. Shouts out to my mama AP Culture checking in for the birthday mug. Yes, I'm sipping on my May Jane's coffee. The best part of waking up is some Mary Jane.
In your kids up.
Nice. And congratulations to you, Tasha, on building your second home down there. That is fantastic. I got a place to go rock out and chill. I am fired up about that. Now, we got to give a shout out before we get this thing started. We got a birthday girl in the house. And I want to send a shout out to my baby sister, Miss Stephanie Denise Coulter, and wish her a happy birthday. So you won't see her in them Nashville streets, but she's
she Vegas strong this week, and I told her that I was going to put our text message on blast. I know they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but
right.
Her arse has not been to sleep probably in the last 2 days. So
and she is sponsored by May Jane's Coffee today, Steph.
She's going to need it, and she needs the Honduran blend because it's the strongest one. So
right.
I texted her. I was like, "Oh, happy birthday, B!" This morning. She was like, but she was just like, thank you, and she was blessed. Thank you, B. So I said, now go to bed. And she responded with something like, yeah, a few hours, and then I'm back up in these streets.
Okay.
Get your little sister.
That's the only way to do it on your birthday. That's the only way to do it on the birthday. And thank you, Miss Sasha, Miss Denise, for reminding me that you can get a discount by using the promo code EXTRA. That's capital XTRA and the number 1. That's extra 1 to get your discount. I used it last week. Got my coffee 48 hours later, talking about a professionally ran Black-owned business. That's how we get down. Shouts out to Angelo Tate checking in. Tasha, let's get this started with a poll question. We're gonna do a weekly poll question that's not so much sports related, but kind of get our juices and berries going since it's an early morning show on Saturday. So we've had 2 of the biggest hip hop legends drop albums in the last week. Last Friday it was Kanye West. This Friday it was Mr. Drake, Mr. Drizzy himself. You're on a road trip from Texas to Tennessee. You can only play one artist the entire way there, the entire way back. Who you rolling with? You rolling with Kanye's discography or you rolling with Drake?
Drizzy.
Drizzy, really? Why is that?
Because, I mean, Kanye is just, first of all, he's just out there. And to listen to his music, it's too much. You have to put too much thought into listening to his. I've got to listen to Drake because I'm trying to ride down the street, down the interstate. I'm trying to stay hyped. I'm trying to stay awake. I don't want to think about the music when I'm listening to it. Especially on the road. I'm trying to stay hyped, trying to stay awake, and trying to get my drive on.
Right. D'Angelo said, sadly, it's Drake for me. Well, he can make you sad. Some of them beats will have you calling people you ain't messed with in 20 years and apologize for something that you didn't even do. Drake, how you said, you've been on my mind today. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
But on that I'm Too Sexy or whatever the name of that song is, in the video, he actually pulled out Kawhi Leonard, the robot himself.
Wow.
Himself made a cameo in the video and was actually dancing. So that's greatness.
What?
That's greatness.
That is greatness. Now, speaking of greatness, we have a great show lined up for you today. We're going to talk some football from henceforth and forevermore. I want to start with the biggest news that hit this past 48 hours ago. The Big 12. Now, the last time we were on here talking with the peeps, the Big 12 were losing Oklahoma and Texas. Well, you come to find out yesterday that four schools have applied to be admitted into the Big 12. That's Houston, UCF, Cincinnati, and BYU. Now, T-Sizzle, in your opinion, oh, wow, your face says it all. In your opinion, will this be enough to keep the Big 12 as a respected Power 5 conference? Adding those four schools.
You said UCF.
UCF, Cincinnati,
Central
Houston,
Florida?
and Central Florida, yes. Your thoughts?
The only one to me that kind of makes sense, I can understand Houston because you're losing A&M, you're losing University of.
Yes.
So Houston geographically, who else did you say? I can understand BYU. But I think for the Big 12, I think you kind of all need to be on one side of the Mississippi. Central Florida, that's too many time zones. Central Florida is Eastern time. Ohio is what? I think part of it is Central, maybe part of it is Eastern time. BYU
Texas is Central time.
Texas is Central. BYU is Mountain.
Yes.
Again, who's going to stay up to watch those games? The only one that makes sense is Houston, but at this point, Big 12 is grasping onto straws.
They really are, and I don't think that any of these additions are going to make them any more palatable in the college football playoff talk.
No.
And I think the Pac-12 is the biggest winner.
Yeah, BYU will actually bring, because they have a big fan base. Surprisingly,
they do.
Shouts out,
and they'll
to
come
Steve
back to the
Young.
stadium.
Yes,
right?
Yeah. Shouts out to Steve Young.
Shouts out.
Yeah, BYU could bring the fans, but I just don't see it bringing any oomph to the Big 12. The Big 12 was a premier conference. And I mean, just thinking when it was the Big 8, because my cousin played ball at Oklahoma when it was the Big 8. And then they add, then it's the Big 12. So you have 4 more teams, and it was like a powerhouse.
Yes.
It's over for the Big 12. If these are the teams you're thinking about bringing in, no.
Right. I think that it helps them more basketball-wise because Houston is becoming a powerhouse, and Cincinnati has always been good in basketball to pair with Kansas and Oklahoma State. But in football, forget about it. If you the Pac-12, if you Oregon, if you USC, now's the time to get your weight up before 2025 so you can get back into the national championship conversation and at least sniff the play, at least pinch the bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Pinch the bitch.
Yes, this is a whole new uncensored season. Buckle up your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't nobody at work today. All right, as we move on, there's a huge game on tap today. Some are calling it the biggest regular season game that we're going to have all season. That's number 3, Clemson hosting number 5, Georgia. Plenty of playoff implications up and down the line. Now, later on in the show, I'm going to ask you who's going to win the game. Right now, I want to know Who needs this win more, Georgia or Clemson, in your opinion?
Clemson.
Oh, do tell. Do tell.
Because they got rid of Sunshine. And
Yes.
Dabo Luther King was bumping his gums, saying all this and that. First of all, why are you still working, dog? The NIL got passed. You said that you were going to quit.
Right.
Okay, but I digress.
All right. Our first digress of the season.
So, yes, Clemson needs this win more than Georgia because we all know in the SEC, as long as you win the East and you can be up against Alabama, you're going to stay relevant. So it wouldn't hurt Georgia as much if they lost this because, Georgia's probably not going to be in the Final Four when it comes for the national playoff anyway. Clemson has a chance to be in that top four. So Clemson needs this win more.
I'm going to double down on what you said because at first I was thinking Georgia, but you make a good point with Clemson. And then I went and did some digging. Clemson doesn't have any more ranked opponents on their schedule for the rest of the year. And North Carolina, who was ranked number 10, they took an L last night. So they may fall out to 22, 23, 24, losing at Virginia Tech. So if your only quality game on the regular season, you took a loss on a neutral site, you might be in trouble. Plus, as a voter, I think the fans and the people voting, we look for a reason to dismiss Clemson because they play in such a weak conference. So, Dabo, y'all better get it done tonight. I cannot wait for that one. We're going to get your pick on that before we close the show. But there was another top 5 school that kicked things off on Thursday. Our hated rival, the Ohio State Suckeyes. They kicked off their season with an impressive road win at Minnesota. They pulled away in the second half for a half there. I thought Minnesota might be able to sting them. They have a new quarterback in C.J. Stroud. He threw for just about 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, had some big plays in the second half. Is Ohio State becoming quarterback you? Are you sold on C.J. Stroud? You think that they're beatable this year?
And the fact that you're saying quarterback you, I'm thinking about the quarterback Hugh. Have you noticed?
Oh, wait a minute now. All right. Okay. So you done had your Nate James this morning. What do you know for fun of your putts? All right. So expound on the expound on the Hugh for me. Like what? Like where, for the people who may not have dusted off the noggin this morning. What do you mean by that?
The last 5 or 6 quarterbacks at that school have been black, like that coffee.
Bliggity. Yes.
Have been black. Now, I can't necessarily say that you're quarterback you because we know what happens to those quarterbacks from that school when they go to the NFL. They pan out to be nothing.
They pan out to be nothing. But the jury's out on Justin Fields.
Yes, it's out because, hey, it's out because, I don't know if we're going to discuss this later. I think he's going to be starting sooner than we think in Chicago.
Really? Oh, we're gonna get to the NFL preview next Saturday.
Okay.
So we'll leave that as
I'll leave that to myself.
Tease. Okay.
Yes, but I always tell you this off wax. I always bet on black. I don't care where they are, I always bet on black because for so long we were told that the black men could not be quarterbacks because we can't think. The black man could not make it as a quarterback. So I'm always going to root for it. Right. Can't do this, can't do that. So I'm always going to root for any, and I don't use the term African American or of color. I always root for black. I just do. But again, could not watch the game still, even though I have a certain person's account that I can pull up and watch things. Thanks, Paul.
You know how we do.
When I was reading reading clips and things about it, I think their defense, people are thinking the defense may be the Achilles heel this year.
Yeah, but they couldn't get off the field on Thursday either.
And then you look at the offense there, and then also their head coach is coaching in Jacksonville now because I always thought he was still coaching that team. That's going to be the true testament. Now that his mind is on something else, will they really be as prominent and will they win as many games? Because the guy who I think was still coaching them, Urban Liar, is in Jacksonville now.
But and he got his own problems down there.
You got your own problems. But yeah, they didn't roll that boat too well up in Minnesota on Thursday. But I mean, again, it's early in the season. Minnesota has lost a lot of its luster that it's had. So playing a team like Minnesota, you really can't tell. But I mean, I'm going to give them the respect that they deserve. But it is Ohio State.
Okay, so I just want to just to piggyback on one quick thing that she said about the hue. Always bet on black. The last time Michigan beat Ohio State and won a major bowl game, their quarterback was Denard Robinson. I'm gonna just keep moving. Their quarterback was Denard Robinson. As we continue, I want to send a shout out to Mr. Langston Moore, our brand new first-time grandfather. We'll give you a round of applause for that. He has a grandson. He is a proud Pearl Cone alum. Shouts out to the Firebirds, class of '93. Hey, they kicking butt. So shouts out to Langston. I need you to figure out a way to get, huh? Y'all talking about us. This our show.
Oh.
I know he was 90, but shouts out to you, Langston, number 20. He did work for us as a Firebird running back. So let me ask you this. If Ohio State won the last 4 Big Ten titles, the first time anybody in 100 and something years have won it 4 years in a row, who in the Big Ten this year can stop them from getting to number 5?
Of course, I'm going to always say us. Go Blue.
You know what? Michigan Mike is somewhere blowing kisses at you because that's what he said last night. Almost hung up on him. Go Blue. You said okay. So let's just go ahead and jump right on in it. Michigan. They get started here in a little over an hour. We kick off and try to get that taste of a dreadful 2020 season out of our mouths. Expectations this year. Is Harbaugh on the hot seat? Is this like what does he need to do to save his job this year?
He's been on the hot seat, just like that photo I sent you. He's been on the hot seat.
That dude was on fire.
And we all know the answer to that question. That Saturday after Thanksgiving. Saturday after Thanksgiving must be a W for Michigan, or I think Harbaugh his khaki pants and ran out of starch.
Look, and Langston was right on cue. Stop wearing them damn khakis. We need to get this man some Jabot jeans. Shouts out to Michael Harris checking in. Shouts out to Chi-Town and Nashville checking in. So, your expectations for Michigan this year? What? Throw out a record. What? 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins, 10 wins, 11. What do you say for Michigan?
The thing is with Michigan, they lose games that they should win. You know, Penn State is always tough.
Right.
They have is Wisconsin next week. When is Wisconsin?
No, that's Washington next week. Wisconsin is on the horizon. Yeah.
Okay. Penn State is always tough, but they play in the Big House this year, right?
Yes, they open in the Big House today with a full stadium.
No, I mean against Penn State.
Oh, I think the Penn State game was at home last year.
Okay, so it's going to be in Happy Valley, so that's going to be a tough game. Wisconsin is always going to be tough. And then, of course, somebody like Minnesota, who the other school beat, can sneak up on Michigan, and then you'll see Harbaugh standing there with his hands on his hips, with his glasses on, and that face, like, you know, it's hard to tell. I hate to agree with Langston, but that 8-3, I mean, I'm hoping it's a 10-win season, but
I am too. But Indiana beat us last year. Michigan State beat us last year, and they looked good against Northwestern last night. They've got a new quarterback and a running back that went berserk. We have to go to Sparty, although we always play them well. We always lose to them at home for some odd reason. Go figure. I would be more than satisfied with an 8-3 season, Langston. Like from your lips to God's ears.
Yes.
I would take 3-8 if one of those victories. If those 3 wins were Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State, I'll take 3-8.
that would save Harbaugh's job, even though they went 3-8. That would actually save his job.
It would.
And it's
What's the
sad.
likelihood?
But it's
What's
sad
the likelihood that we beat them?
But it's sad that makes us happy.
They done beat us down. They done beat us down expectation-wise. It's almost like if your child routinely come home with D's and F's, that you just pray for a C. A C.
Oh, C. It's a C+.
We're going to the mall, Junior. So, okay. All right, okay. But no, your record, you saying, so what? We're going to pin you down. Langston said 8-3. What do you say?
8-3 sounds good. Even though, again, I'm hoping it's 10-1, but 8-3, we're looking about 8-3ish.
Look, as long as we get up to the 8-9 realm, I'm okay with that. Now, Langston has a question. Does his coaching style truly translate to the level of collegiate success that is expected at a program like Michigan? First of all, eloquently put, by the way, that Northside education peering through. Way to intellectually post that question. Tasha, your answer?
No.
In a word, no.
I mean,
in a word.
You have some of these schools, especially schools like, in the Big Ten. You have people now wanting to play for Michigan because it is Michigan, not so much because they want to play for Harbaugh.
Right.
Michigan is only getting the recruits that they are getting because it's a Michigan. Oh, and shouts out to one Mr. Oh God, his name is it's on the tip. Oh my God, Shantae and Greg, don't kill me. My friend Shantae and Greg, their son Miles, who is a cornerback at Ravenwood, has committed to Michigan.
Go Blue. Go Blue. Oh, look, and shouts out. We get a Miss LaCrone shout out today. How about that? We all had her freshman class. I met Tasha in Miss LaCrone's 9th grade English class.
Miss LaCrone.
Miss LaCrone, yes. I'm gonna say no, and I think that the difference between Michigan and Ohio State is Ohio State figured out how to modernize their offense.
Mm-hmm.
While we still running 2 tight ends and a fullback. They spread it out, got some quarterbacks of hue that can beat you with their legs and their arm, and tailored an offense to fit their system instead of bringing in somebody like a JoJo and trying to make him run a pro style when he certainly wasn't ready for a pro style system.
Right. He's not a pro style quarterback. He was not a fit.
He's not even a pro quarterback.
And instead of them trying to, make the game coach or make plans for his game for the way he plays, they want to stick him in, and that's not a natural thing for him.
It's not. It's really not. Now, let's transition real quick back to the Big 12. Now, as it stands right now, Oklahoma, Texas are still a part of it. Texas has a new coach. Oklahoma has a new quarterback. Do either one of these teams make any noise playoff-wise, in your opinion? Do they even get close?
Oklahoma is always in the mix, but the lack of not having a championship game always hurts the Big 12. And then losing them and adding these 4 other schools, they really have no shot at ever, making it into the top 4 unless Oklahoma would go undefeated. That would be the only way that I could see Oklahoma getting in. But Oklahoma always just hangs around the on the cusp at the end of it. They're right there. But that
they always
not
put the tip in.
Right. Just let me put.
It's Saturday show. We don't have the cuffs on us now. They always put the tip in.
Oklahoma's just putting the head in. That's all. Let's just get it on out there. Oklahoma's always just putting the head in, but they can't never go all the way through. They can't go balls deep. They can't do it.
They never go from the window to the walls.
No. Skeet. No.
Right. You don't really get a skeet, but you get you might get dinner in a movie. Let me say this, though. Be on the lookout for Oklahoma this year. I think that they are going to try to put on an audition tape for the SEC and the SEC fans that they coming in ready to do some damage. That quarterback is a Heisman Trophy candidate. I really think that they are going to try to and shouts out to Michigan Mike. What's going on? He said Rattler, that's his name. Rattlers QB. Keep your eye on him as a Heisman candidate. The kid from North Carolina last night that's also a Heisman candidate, he's done. He threw 3 critical interceptions that cost North Carolina that game. So he's out of it. Actually, Oklahoma plays at the same time as Michigan today. So I won't be watching much of him today, but it's all about Go Blue today. But keep your eye on Oklahoma.
And then, speaking of Mac Jones and his former team, Texas, it's funny how, they have all the controversy with the Texas fight song. Going into the SEC, when you had Lane Kiffin being the mouthpiece for Ole Miss, removing most of the thing, how is that going to work? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, out of all people, Lane Kiffin, and out of all schools, Ole Miss.
Wait a minute. Oh, what?
Come on, clanger, Hell State. You already know.
Oh, okay. I forgot it. You got collegiate beef from another lineage. Okay, I got you. Langston, this is the Saturday show. We are under no FCC regulations anymore. So brace yourself. Brace yourself. Oh, and for anybody just look, here comes the lineage Ole Miss. Any of you all in the comments that just joined the show, who are you taking in a road trip if you can only play one? Drake or Kanye? Drop that in the comments. We're doing a poll about that. Now, T-Sizzle, as we inch closer to game time, we're just under an hour before the University of Michigan starts their undefeated campaign. Let's get to the meat and taters. What is your college football playoff prediction? Who are your 4 teams that will be representing college football come the end of the season? We got Drake is coming in. Drake's coming in hot. Shouts out to Mike. Shouts out to my cousin Carl in Georgia. Georgia got a big game today. Georgia's got a big game today.
On my mind.
Now, I was buying you some time, T-Sizzle, to get your mind right now. So, who's your 4? The people want to know.
To be honest, the only one that, if I had to bet the bank on any team, I only have one, and that's Alabama.
So, let me ask you this, because this was a secondary question on today's script. Is it Alabama versus the field? They won 6 of the last 12 national championships. Is it if you had to take everything, if you had to take the rest of the money for your second home and bet it on either Alabama or someone else, anybody else winning, you're gonna put it on Bama?
Yeah, I mean he's not making $10 million a year for nothing.
Oh my God, Langston, I didn't even mean to get sidetracked, but that question we can't even let that pass up. Nebraska, Scott Frost. You're throwing out, bro. Can we call him Scott Thaw?
I mean, he's had 3. That's all he's had is 3 wins.
Last week, they lost in August for the first time in program history. They've been around since the Mayflower,
And Tommy Frazier, the blackest man in college football, Tommy Frazier.
Now, my cousin Carl agrees with you. He says Alabama versus everybody else. Now, if I got to bet my money, if I got to bet my life savings, if I got to bet my Dominican Republic plane tickets, I can't bet against Nick Saban in a high-pressure situation. But Mike thinks that Georgia beats Alabama this year.
And the thing is, even if Alabama loses, Alabama's still going to be in there, and that's the thing that people.
They're not going to lose enough.
And it's too many unknowns out there. With Clemson, we don't know what they're going to do because basically Clemson is a whole new program.
Right. Right.
Who else is up there? I mean, we don't know about Ohio. We don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they look good against Minnesota. But Minnesota,
they look good. They look good when Minnesota's starting running back got hurt. When he was in the game, he had over 115 yards at halftime and a couple of tubs. He was running through them and they couldn't get off the field and they were down. Had that running back not gotten hurt, that could be a whole different story. But here's my thing with Georgia. Georgia could beat Clemson, and I still think they'll wind up with 2 losses. One to Alabama in the
Yes.
championship game, and then they're going to drop one to Florida or somebody skanky like, I don't want to say like UT, but JoJo might just get hot that day and take care of business. So Tasha, we've let you do this long enough. You're on the clock now. Your 4 playoff teams. Let's go.
I told you it's the only one that I can say without any doubt is Alabama. I really and truly don't know. I mean, we just got finished hyping up Oklahoma. This could be the year that Oklahoma finally makes it back. You know,
Hey,
we
Langston
don't
backs you up
know.
with receipts too. He says that they've won 2 championships as a 1-loss team. 2 of their better teams have been the 1-loss teams
Yes.
that they've had as far as talent was.
I mean, my thing is, if Alabama is in it, Alabama's going to win. That's just the way I see it, because Saban has that program just run. I mean, it's like a plant, a factory. You lose one piece, you just plug another piece in, and it just keeps moving.
Mike, I'm with you, Mike. So who's your Final 4? You that girl at the restaurant that won't pick nothing to eat.
Okay, Mike, you give us your Final 4. I just
Right,
told
Mike.
you guys,
Mike, you give us your Final 4. Yeah, you do that.
I'm gonna hurry up and say I'm gonna put Oklahoma in there just for S and G's. I'm gonna put Oklahoma in there.
Okay. They're gonna have to Google S and G's. That's good stuff by you. I like the way you phrase that. That's good stuff. Nick Saban has too many recruiting weapons. I mean, he replaces a 5-star with a 5-star with a 5-star with a 5-star with a 5-star. You know, it's like Drake at an after party. Like,
Right.
It don't matter who says no. Like, he gonna get one. No,
So
Michael
that's
said.
still your man.
Right, the certified lover boy. Now, Mike says Bama, Clemson, Georgia, Oklahoma.
And see, I
Mine
can.
mine are similar.
I was thinking
got
about
Bama.
Clemson. Go ahead.
No, I got Bama, Clemson, Oklahoma, and Ohio State. Until somebody in the Big Ten beats them, I'm gonna have to go with where the money is.
And see, I was thinking about Clemson because, especially if they win today, because for some reason they like Clemson. They don't care, schedule be damned. They don't care that they're playing in the ACC that is depleted. Not the ACC that
yes.
grew up, watching with, Florida State just being dominant on both ends of the ball.
And they have a huge game coming up Sunday against Notre Dame. I'm going to be watching that one.
Yes. And shout out to the late, great Bobby Bowden.
Oh, yes. Bobby Bowden. Yes, sir.
Passed a few weeks ago. I'm going to give a good dadgummit in his honor.
Right. Right. Now, the way he passed with his whole family around him at peace at the age of 92, if we can only all go like that.
Yes.
That's the way to go.
At peace. But, yeah, I mean, I can kind of agree with Mike on the Clemson. But, again, I don't know how Clemson is going to. That's why I was leery on putting them in there. But when I saw Mike's list, it just kind of popped into my head. They're going to put Clemson in because, they've got to have Dabo Luther King in there for whatever reason. Mission cop. You know what?
Right.
Bye.
Now, no. For Langston, we're going to do a little pass for you. We're going to pass.
Pass.
That was for you, Langston. Inside joke.
I want to get
that Mission College.
We have nothing to fear but fear itself.
You ain't seen no parts of the playoffs.
No pause.
Okay, let's stop it, Langston. All right. As you were wrapping up your comments about Clemson.
Yes, they love Dabo Luther King for whatever reason, and they always find a way to put these schools in that I don't think deserve to be in. Because remember back in the day when the computer was ranking people, Clemson would have never gotten in with that strength of schedule.
Right. They never would have got in. And with Clemson, I think a lot of it rides on today. If they beat Georgia, that's their coup de grace in November when we start seeing them play a bunch of bum teams. Oh, remember back in September we beat Georgia. Whether Georgia got 2-3 losses by then, it don't matter. Now, if they beat Georgia, well, if they lose to Georgia, and like Mike says, Georgia goes on to beat Alabama, they can say, "Well, our only loss was to an undefeated Georgia team." Like
To the
Dabo,
SEC
he
champs.
slicked the way that he set this game up. So it's going to be hard to keep Clemson out one way or the other. And now it's time for us to debut our season 4 episode closers called SIZZLE'S Hot Picks. All right, you on the hot seat. Every week we're gonna profile 5 games. 5 games. We're gonna do 5 college today because there's no pros. And SIZZLE'S gonna tell you where to put your money so you can buy you a second home on the island.
Gilligan, get off
the island. Oh, all right, Jericho. All right, we're gonna start with 11 o'clock on Fox for the people who want to play along at home. We have 19th ranked Penn State at 12th ranked Wisconsin. Who you got, SIZZLE?
I would really want Franklin to win, but I'm going to go with Wisconsin simply because they are playing at home. So on Wisconsin.
All right, we got Wisconsin. Next up, staying in the Big Ten at 2:30 on the Big Ten Network for you cable-having folk, we have number 17, Indiana, at number 18, Iowa. Who you got?
Ooh, I'm gonna take Indiana with that one, even though Iowa is at home. And I like how they turn around and to the little children in the hospital and the children can see out. I like that. I'm going to just go with have to go with Indiana on that one.
You're going with Indiana? Okay, Mike is going against you on both of them. He's taking Penn State by a nub, fingers crossed, and he's going with Iowa on that one. Okay. 2 big-time games in the Big Ten Conference where we reside. All right. Now, let's bring it a little more local to where I am.
Now, wait a minute, Mike. Are you going for a hope or a wish? Because we would need Iowa to – well, no, actually, we would probably need Indiana to win out. So when we play them –
we owe them a butt whooping. They embarrassed us last year. So that's going to be interesting. Now, in the state of Texas, we have number 21, the University of Texas. The eyes are upon you. They host number 23, Louisiana. So number 23, Louisiana at number 21, Texas. Texas is a 9-point home favorite. 3:30 on Fox. Who you got, Tasha?
I have to go with Texas, even though if they lose to Louisiana, they need to rescind that application to the SEC. Well, we already have an also ran, which is Vanderbilt, and we don't need to.
Don't do
dynamite, dynamite. When Vandy starts,
they got a good baseball team. How about that? So you going with Texas? Would you take the 9 points if you were in Vegas? You think they'll win by at least double digits?
Ooh, no.
I wouldn't either. Texas like Ernie Davis.
This is.
Don't do that. Don't do. We're gonna have to bring him on the show next week. The big game, Tasha, the one everybody's waiting on. Georgia at Clemson. We've talked about it. We've teased it all show. Now let's get to the nitty and the gritty. Clemson is a 3-point home favorite. It's tonight, 7 o'clock on ABC. You can get your rabbit ears. Don't need no cable, no nothing. Who do you got? Clemson or Georgia, SIZZLE?
Ooh, I'm going to go with Georgia.
Whoa! Georgia with the upset on the neutral site? Okay.
Because, again, I told you earlier, we don't know what Dabo the King is going to trot out on that field.
Right. And they don't get that run of lead-up games like how they used to beat all of them, those, like you call them, also rans. Okay, wait a minute. You get some Georgia love shown. Now, shouts out to Shamika Nicole checking in. She says Clemson. No, you don't need no cable. Get your rabbit ears ready. Go on and throw that foil on the tip. Point that tip toward the nearest window. And voila, you got it. Everybody's going Georgia. Okay, so the people are riding with SIZZLE on that. And last but not least, SIZZLE, to close the show, we have to pay homage to our alma mater, who will be kicking off a new coach on Sunday on NFL Network. That is Mr. Eddie George and the Big Blue Tennessee State Tigers facing the Grambling Tigers. Who you taking? Who you got?
Of course, I'm going with the land of golden sunshine by the Cumberland's fertile shore. Stands a school for greater service, one that we adore. Come on, Big Blue.
I'm going to just say T-S-U, who you rooting for. T-S-U. Let's go. That's right.
T-S-S-S, you say what?
And the band, the band is gonna make it a clean sweep. We're gonna whoop they band. AP Culture checking in, Big Blue TSU. Let's go, baby. I will be glued.
Grambling still marches out with those white doctor shoes. I hate that, with those black socks and their bass drums play on the side. I mean, play on the little wheel thing. They wheel their bass drums out, don't they?
Will you stop it? You said they use those cafeteria lady shoes.
I hate those shoes. I hate Grambling's band uniforms. It's almost worse than Texas's band uniforms.
All right, so we got Tennessee State, Nashville, Tennessee, the pride of North Nashville in the house. T-Sizzle, you have been on point today. I know you got a busy day with the game and getting your second house ready, so I can have me a guest house, because I'm going to be Gail and she's going to be Oprah. I'll be right out there at the guest house. Yes, Mama, she said doctor shoes. She's off the chain on a Saturday. So on behalf of Miss T-Sizzle, it's your boy, Mr. P.L. Coulter. On behalf of May, Jane, Coffee, can you drop a link in there, the website where they can go get your coffee, Miss Denise? Denise, get your cup. I'm about to fill up one more time before game day, and go Blue. T-Sizzle, you got any parting shots?
No. Well, I mean, I do have a few more birthday shots out today. September 4th, my cousin, who is an HBCU alum from Fisk, and her son is a freshman at Tennessee State. My cousin Adrian, her birthday is today. She is 47 today.
All right, that is a blessing. 47. I gotta give a big go Blue to Mr. Michigan Mike. We will be rooting them on. And my mama said she needs some K-Cups. We'll talk to our sponsor. About
yes.
that.
Oh, Ma, they're coming. She's getting them. She's going to get the K-Cups. For all you people who have Keurigs, the K-Cups are coming. We're 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 here.
Hey. Oh, and also a new development this season. One of you, we're gonna have one of you come on and battle T-Sizzle in her hot picks throughout the season, especially as the NFL gets rolling. So if you want to come join the show and get up on the screen and go up against T-Sizzle and sit in her hot seat, make sure you drop one of us a line and we will make that happen. Mama said let her know ASAP. She don't play about her coffee. You have a customer for life. On behalf of T-Sizzle, on behalf of Michigan Mike, Langston, AP Coulter, Mom, Denise, May Jane's Coffee, the whole world, damn it. Go Blue. We are out of here.
Bye.